So now we are at Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey is a famous Anglican church here in London. This is a royal wedding ceremony place where ceremonies like coronations and other royal functions have happened since its opening in 1006. There have been 40 royal weddings of British, English, and Scottish weddings. There have been 18 burials of British, Scottish, and English monarchs, and 16 weddings have happened here for many monarchs of British descent. And coronation ceremonies like Queen Elizabeth II and most recently King Charles III, the current King of England, have had their coronation ceremonies and wedding ceremonies and other ceremonies here at Westminster Abbey. It's full of early 13th century French and English styles with Gothic styles here, and we're about to show you what it has in store inside. So let's go. So we are now at the well-renowned British Museum here in London. So this museum holds about 8 million kinds of objects, which we are going to go inside and see. One of the most famous items here is called the Rosetta Stone. It's a cornerstone to Egyptology, and many other objects we are going to see when we go inside. So let's go. So we are now at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. This is a very famous museum because inside are special statues of waxed figures. You can see many people, celebrities, famous actors, athletes, pop stars. You can see all sorts of people, and they're all made out of wax. You can even see some fictional characters you can see in the movies, all made out of wax, exact replicas. This was founded in the 1830s by Madame Tussauds, who came in to make this giant museum a collection space for her magnificent wax collections. There have been many that have been opened worldwide. First one opening up in Amsterdam. There's actually one in San Francisco, and all of them house exact wax replicas of the person and they are. And we are about to head on inside and see which people have been made out of wax on display. So let's check it out. So we are now at the London Eye. The London Eye is a famous observation wheel on the south side of the Thames River in London. It is very famous because it is one of the most highly paid tourist attractions in London, and it's Europe's highest cantilever observation wheel. And we are about to and experience the wonderful view it offers. So let's go. So we are now in Trafalgar Square in London. So this was established in the early 19th century because it commemorates the famous battle known as the Battle of Trafalgar during Napoleon's wars, or between France and Britain. It was a famous naval battle that took place off the coast of Cape Trafalgar. And right now, we're seeing all that it beholds in it. You can see that there's this giant column. This is known as Nelson's column because Admiral Lord Haryoda Nelson was a famous admiral in the British Navy. And when Britain won the Battle of Trafalgar, Nelson was killed, and then they commemorated him with this giant column known as Nelson's column. And around me in Trafalgar Square, you can see all sorts of buildings with different flags on them. These are houses of different countries, and right in the center is the National Gallery. And right in the very center, there are also some statues here of famous people, all military men, and monarchs. And then over here is the National Gallery. The National Gallery is where many famous artworks are stored. And now we're about to head on and explore more. So let's go. So we are now in central London in Piccadilly Square in Piccadilly Circus. So here in Piccadilly Circus, there are lots of shops around us, lots of restaurants you can see around us, all sorts of buses that have lots of stops here. It has a lot of nice things for us to see when we're shopping or staying anywhere, and we're about to show you some nice stuff here. At night, it's very busy, and in the day, it's also busy, but you can clearly see we have magnificent windows. So, let's check it out. So, we are now at the church, St. Paul's Cathedral. This is a famous Anglican church, like Westminster Abbey, but it is very famous because of that famous dome. There's so many events that happens here because it's also the seat of the Bishop of London, and it has held many religious events, funerals like for our Lord Nelson and Winston Churchill, and many other weddings that happen here at St. Paul's, and we're about to check it out and see what we can see. So let's So we are at St. Pancras International Station in London and taking the Eurostar to Paris. The Eurostar is a train service that links London to Paris. And we are about to head on it and go through the British Channel underwater as we head on to Paris. And I'll see you in Paris with a wonderful sight to see.